Yes, today we are going to talk about direct and indirect speech. So, well, before going to direct and indirect speech, we have to understand what direct speech and what is indirect speech all about. Then we would be able to understand what is the need for direct speech and what is the need for indirect speech. Some people think that when two people directly interact, it is called direct speech, and when two people talk about somebody, it is indirect speech. But it's not like that. Actually, if you see what is direct speech, direct speech is known as quoted speech. For example, there is a dialogue or there is a conversation between a politician and a journalist, for example. See, usually journalists go to politicians for taking interviews. So when they take interview, after their interview is all over, they will publish that interview in the newspaper. When you read the newspaper, the news will be in two different ways. One is some in some places you will find sentences within quotations. Why do they use quotations there? Because they are the exact words, they are the actual words spoken by the speaker as they are without making any changes. Suppose when he asked about something, like what is your opinion on government, then whatever the words exactly used by the politician, if he publishes them, then he will use quotations. It means to say these are exact words spoken by that politician on government. That is one way. That is called direct speech. So usually in the direct speech, they will try to use the exact words, the actual words spoken by the speaker as they are, without making even a single change in the word. For example, that's why we say one word, quotation. Quotation means to quote something. For example, Swami Vivekananda says. When we say Swami Vivekananda says, and if you use quotations afterwards, you will have to use exact words like arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. So I have used exact words of Swami without making even a single change. Suppose I don't remember the exact words of Swami, but I remember the substance, I know the summary of what he said, then I can say, Swami Vivekananda always says that, you should be alert and you should never stop till you achieve your goal. So these are the words of Swami, but not the exact words. You are not repeating the exact words of Swami. That's why you don't use quotations there. You have tried to convey the substance or the gist of what Swami said. So whenever you are quoting the exact words of a speaker, that is known as direct speech. Indirect speech means you can convey the meaning, you can convey the gist of what he said in your own words. You can use your own words, but the meaning is conveyed. What he tried to express, the words are yours, the grammar is yours, sentence is yours, but the meaning is of that person. So you are trying to convey the meaning of a third person in your own words. That is called indirect speech. You may ask me, sir, what is the need for direct speech and indirect speech? If you want to give that impact, suppose whenever there is a speech, Suppose Prime Minister delivers a speech. If media relays the speech, fine. Suppose it could not relay or it could not telecast the speech, it has come only in the newspaper. Then when you read it, if it publishes the exact words of Prime Minister as they are, you will have that impact. You will have that feeling. You feel as if you are listening to him, as if you are reading exact words of Prime Minister. Whereas when he conveys the meaning, the sentences are different, the words are different, you can only feel the meaning. That is called indirect speech. So that's why it is important for us to know what is the way of direct speech and what is the way of indirect speech. Say, for example, now two students are talking to themselves. So A speaks to B. He says that, today I don't come to the class. Tell it to sir. So please inform sir, I don't come to class today. Okay. So what he said, I don't come to class today, is actual statement made by A. A said to B. Now B is conveying it to the teacher. Sir, A said, he can say, A said, I don't come to the class today. Exact words, I don't come to the class today. That is direct speech. That's why you will use quotations. So wherever you are using the exact words, you will use quotations. Whereas he can also say, sir, A said that he does not come to class that day or today. So he has modified grammar. He has modified I as he. He has changed don't as doesn't. So certain changes have taken place, but the meaning is conveyed. So whenever the meaning is conveyed, it is known as indirect speech. When exact words are expressed, it is called direct speech. That's why direct speech is also known as quoted speech, because these you are exactly quoting what somebody said. That's why it is called direct speech. It is saying or reporting exactly what the person has said. That's why you will very often find direct speech has got quotation marks. And here the verb, the tense do not change. You are not going to change the tense because you are exactly using the words. That's why you don't have any right to change even a single word. Maybe grammar, maybe pronoun, maybe noun, maybe verb, maybe other words or anything you can't change. Exactly, you have to copy and retain the words as they are. And the quoted or direct speech is put always within commas. This is only an indicator. These are not my words. See, suppose sometimes while we are writing an essay, while we are writing some paragraph or some, anything like examination, then what we do is we try sometimes, whenever we are quoting somebody, maybe Einstein said like this, maybe Dr. Abdul Kalam said like this, maybe, Trump said like this, you feel, wherever you feel that you will have to quote something, then you will be using quotation marks to give that impact that you have read the exact quotation of that person. Mahatma Gandhi says something like what he said. Exactly, if you quote, you will be using quotation marks. And the first word of the reported speech begins with a capital letter. You have to remember, always whenever you are using direct speech, it has to begin with a capital letter. And in the reported speech means indirect speech, we may use any tense required by the sense of the sentence. So accordingly, we'll be making some changes. You can see examples here. For example, in the direct speech, you have a sentence like this. He said, I'm 12 years old. So in the example, direct speech is like this. What she said, She said, I'm 12 years old. So she said, comma, I'm 12 years old. So exactly you can see the text here. After said, comma is used. I am 12 years old, followed by full stop and ended with quotations. First, you have to end the sentence with full stop, and then only you have to end inverted commas. Usually, there is one more procedure. They begin with quotations. I'm 12 years old. After that, comma, she said, full stop. That way also some people use she said first, and some people use she said later. So that is one way. And if it is an interrogative sentence, and it could be either way. First he said, comma, can you give me some food, or can you give me some food, quotations end, comma, he said. Either way you can say it. Similarly, you can see, this is imperative sentence. Imperative sentence means orders and commands. So whenever you are conveying an order or a command, you can first say, Mr. Mehta said, comma, quotations, get out, exclamatory mark, quotations end. Or quotations begin, get out, exclamatory mark, quotations end, Mr. Mehta said. Either way you can say, even exclamatory sentences. So there are basically four types of sentences we have. First one is assertive sentence. Second one is interrogative sentence. Third one is imperative sentence. Fourth one is exclamatory sentences. So all these four types of sentences have four different ways of changing them into indirect speech. So we adopt one way when it is direct speech, assertive sentence, we adopt one way of changing that into indirect. Similarly, interrogative, similarly, imperative, and also exclamatory sentence. So, what is indirect speech now? Indirect speech is also known as, it has a different name, that is, indirect speech is also known as reported speech. It does not use quotation marks. For example, if a sentence begins with a quotation mark in the direct speech, while you convert that into an indirect speech, what we are going to do is, we are going to change the reporting verb, and we are going to remove comma quotations, and we are going to change pronouns, and we are going to change grammar, we are going to change other words as well. So all it goes so many changes. So what changes it will go through will be shown to you later. So in the indirect speech, the change is that it is also known as reported speech, and you will find quotation marks being absent, and all personal pronouns will change to third person. Okay, and the verbs also will undergo change, and all types of changes will take place. So, and the tenses of reporting verb is never changed. So we don't change the reporting verb, but we change what is there within the quotations. We change everything. And now, if you see, for example, let us take one sentence. I would show you. I'm hungry, she said. She said, comma, quotations, I am hungry. So when you say she said, you have to observe here, the report said is reporting verb here, and the reporting verb is in the past tense. So whenever reporting verb is in the past tense, then the sentence within quotations should also be changed to past tense. For example, she said. First thing is, we remove comma quotations, and then when we remove comma quotations and we have to combine these two sentences, she said and I am hungry, should be combined with a conjunction that. We are going to use a conjunction that. So she said, remove comma quotations, use that. Now, when you say I belongs to whom? She. Who is the person who said she? She means who here? I. So I means she. I'm hungry, she said. Then she said that I means she. And then what is the past form of am? Am was. Whereas for she, we use was. She said that she was hungry, full stop. So now it has undergone changes like first one is we retained that reporting verb said as it is. Second one we have removed comma quotations. Third one we have used conjunction. Fourth one we have changed the pronoun I to she because the speaker is she here, she, and the present tense will change as past tense because the reporting verb is in the past said. So she was hungry. So some grammarians say that you can remove that conjunction that also. So you can say she said that she was hungry, or you can say she said she was hungry. Either way you can say. Now, if you see the second sentence, you will understand. Mary said, comma, quotations, I'm going to the bank. Full stop, quotations. Mary said, then that, then I means who here? Mary. She was. She was going to the bank. Mary said that she was going to the bank. So in the indirect speech, you are saying as if Mary said. Mary said that she was going to the bank. When you say direct speech, Mary said exact words, I am going to the bank. When you said, Mary said that she was going to the bank. Then Rahul said, comma quotations, my teacher told me to study harder. Rahul said that my teacher means his teacher had told him to study harder. Even tenses wise also, all present tenses will change to respective past tenses. So simple past will go to past perfect tenses. That we will see later. Now, Simon said, my mom cannot attend my graduation. Then Simon said that his mom cannot will change as could not attend his graduation. Now you say what changes will occur. So in the direct speech, suppose you have say, in the indirect speech, it will be say only. Say will remain as say. Say to will change as tell. So whenever you have object, he said to me, object is there, then said to will change as told. Will say as will say only. Say, say. Said, I mean say to tell. Says to tells. Will say. And said. So like this, these are the changes that will happen. Now, if the reporting verb is in the present or future tense, this is very important. Usually what happens is, if the reporting verb is past tense, mostly 90 times you find reporting verb being past tense only. Rama said, Kiran said, my mother said, teacher said, he said, she said, like that. Always in the direct speech you find always said only. But sometimes you may find the reporting verb being present or future. In case the reporting verb is either present or future, then the sentence within quotations, the grammar does not change, because usually we change all present tenses to past tense, because the reporting verb being past tense, we try to change everything into past tense only. But whereas here, when the reporting verb itself is present, Rajesh says is present tense, then there is no need for you to change the grammar within the quotations. For example, Rajesh says she has brought a fair name for her family. Has brought is present tense only. So Rajesh says we will only remove comma quotations and we use that. And as it is, Rajesh says that she has brought a fair name for her family. Rajesh says that she has brought a fair name for her family. So what is the change that we notice here? No change of grammar, no change of pronoun here, because third person we are talking about, and we only remove comma quotations and we end indirect speech with a full stop. Even you can see I shall say, suppose future tense is there, even then also I shall say I went to Agra on Monday. So I shall say that I went to Agra on Monday. So when the reporting verb is present or future, and no changes will take place within the sentence. Whereas when the reporting verb is past tense, then only the sentence within the quotations will undergo changes of grammar, that is from present to past. What changes will occur, we will see. Now, if the reporting verb is in the past tense, the tense of the reporting speech must change into the corresponding past tense. This is very important. So whenever you have reporting verb like past tense, I said, he said, we said, past tense is there, then if the sentence within the quotations is in the present tense, then you will change that into past. For example, what changes will happen, you can just see here in the picture. Suppose you have present tenses, all present tenses will change into their respective past tenses. For example, you have simple present, it will go to simple past. Present continuous tense, past continuous tense. Present perfect, past perfect. Present perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense. And past perfect, no change. Simple past is there, then past perfect. Past continuous tense is there, past perfect continuous tense is there. That's how all present tenses will change to their respective past. Respective past means what? Simple present, simple past. Present continuous, past continuous. Present perfect, past perfect. Present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous. That's how changes will occur. Now let us see few examples, you will understand better. Yeah. Direct speech, I said I'm speaking the truth. So now here you have present continuous tense, it will change to past continuous tense. I said that I was, am will change as was. So I said that I was speaking the truth. Then we said they cannot cross the river. We said that they could not cross the river. Now, he said, see, suppose one rule you have to remember, if within the quotations you have a habitual action or a universal truth or a proverb, a scientific fact, mathematical, historical fact, in such case, the sentence within the quotations will remain same. You don't change that, because a universal truth is not changed at all. For example, he said, comma quotations, the sun sets in the west. Usually we change the simple present tense to simple past tense, but here, this being a universal truth, we are not going to change that. Only thing is we remove comma quotations and we use the conjunction that. He said that the sun sets in the west. That's all. And as it is, we are keeping the sentence. One more sentence you can see. She said to me, honesty is the best policy. She told me. Said to will change as told, then remove comma quotations, use conjunction that honesty is the best policy. Now, if two such actions are given in the reported speech take place at the same time, the past indefinite, that is simple past tense or continuous tense, does not change. For example, he said Mohan was singing a song while Gopal was playing on a flute. See, in past continuous tense, we use two past continuous tenses simultaneously. Mohan was singing a song while Gopal was playing on a flute. So he said that Mohan was singing a song while Gopal was playing on a flute. That's all. And now if the reporting verb reported speech contains some improbable or hypothetical situations, like in if clauses we have seen, imaginary conditions or hypothetical conditions, like he said to me, if I were there, I would not, I would snub him. For example, in that case, what you can do is you can simply say, he said to me, he said to will change as told. He told me that if I were there, he would snub him. So we are not changing that because that improbable condition does not change at all. If I were the PM, I would remove poverty first. So he told me that if he were the prime minister, I will change as he would remove poverty first. And see some more changes. For example, all present be forms. What are the present be forms? Am, is, are. Am, is, are changed as is, was. Am, was. Are, were. Have, had. Has, had. Do, did. Does, did. Shall, should. Will, would. Can, could. May, might. Must, had to. So this is how all present forms will change to their respective past forms. That is very important to remember. And apart from grammar words, there are some more words which are known as words of nearness will go to words of distance. Means this will change as that. For example, this day, we change that as that day. This, that, these, those, here, there, hither, thither, hence, thence, now, then, ago, before, thus, so, today, that day, yesterday, the previous day, yesterday night, previous night, tomorrow, the next day, or the following day, the last fortnight, the previous fortnight. That's how, we are going to change the words. So these are very important. This day, suppose this day is there, that day, today, that day, okay, these, those, here, there, hence, thence, hither, thither, now, then, ago, before, thus, thus, so, ago, before, tomorrow, the following day, or the next day, the last night, last fortnight, the previous night. That's how it is going to make changes. So that's how you have to remember the changes that will happen while you change from direct speech to indirect speech. And present indefinite means simple present tense will change to simple past tense. You can see the example. He said to me, I never eat sweets. He told me that he never ate sweets. He said to Hina, I hate you. He told Hina that he hates her. See, here you find I never eat sweets. He never ate sweets. And I hate you cannot say he hated her. No, he hates her because it's a regular action. Then present continuous tense will change as past continuous tense. For example, Ram said to Sham, I am watching TV. Ram told Sham that he was watching TV. Now, present perfect will change as past perfect. Sita said, I have already cooked. Sita said that she had already cooked. Ram said to Sham, Ram told Sham, I have seen her today. He had seen her that day. Today will change as that day. And then present perfect continuous will change as past perfect continuous. Sonu said to me, I have been reading book for an hour. Sonu told me that she had been reading for an hour. So present perfect I, she, have been, had been. That's how changes will occur. Now simple past will change to past perfect. She said to Raju, Raj, I went to Jaipur last week. She told Raj that she had gone to Jaipur the previous week. So whenever you have simple past tense in the quotations, that will change as past perfect tense. Then past continuous tense will go to past perfect continuous tense. She said to me, I was waiting for you. She told me that she had been waiting because present past continuous tense will change to past perfect continuous tense. Now, suppose you have past perfect tense. Past perfect tense will remain same because it cannot be changed into any other tense. He said to me, I had completed my project. He told me that he had completed his projects. Tense remains same. Even past perfect continuous tense also will remain same. He said, I had been playing chess for 2 hours. He said that he had been playing chess for 2 hours. Then future, simple future, for example, shall will change as should. Will change as would. Rahul said to Meena, I shall write a letter. Rahul told Meena that he should write a letter. Rita said to Kiran, you will attend, will change as he would attend. So will has changed to would, shall has changed to should. And even future continuous tense, Sheena will be waiting, Sheena would be waiting. Even future perfect, the same thing that you are going to find. I shall have been reaching and he should have been reaching. Shall has been changed to should. And that's how, these changes we are able to find. So all future tenses like shall, should, will, would, can, could, may, might, all present tenses will change to their respective past tenses. And coming to, you can just see here all these things, like you can easily see, you know for example, all simple tenses we have seen, all simple present tenses, all present tenses have changed to past tense, and within the past tense only simple past has gone to past perfect, past continuous tense has gone to past perfect continuous tense. All other remain same. So that is about direct and indirect speech. And there are so many other sentences. What are they? exclamatory sentences, interrogative sentences, and imperative sentences are there. We will see in our next video or in our next class. That's all for now.